Rusty Stevens, Larry Mondello, reveals why he left Levitt to Beaver. Rusty Stevens, become born Robert Rusty Stevens on November 25, 1948, in Boston, Massachusetts, is excellent. Recognized for his role as Larry Mondello, the affable yet mischievous friend of Beaver Cleaver in the traditional TV collection Levitt to Beaver 1957. 1963. Though his performing career was tremendously short, Stevens made an enduring impact on audiences, becoming a loved man or woman in American television history. His portrayal of Larry Mondello, together with his comical antics and earnest friendship with Beaver, contributed considerably to the fulfillment of the display and made Stevens a household name throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s. Stevens turned into just 9 years old when he joined the solid of Leave It to Beaver, and his herbal charm and comedic timing speedily received over each audiences and critics. As Larry Mondello, he played the slightly trouble-susceptible sidekick who regularly were given Beaver into various predicaments, commonly related to some form of innocent mischief. Larry's role in the collection became relevant to the various display's lighter and more humorous moments, and his chemistry with Jerry Mathers, who performed Beaver, was a key element within the show's success. Together, the two boys represented the carefree, adventurous spirit of childhood, which resonated with visitors of all ages. Following his exit from Leave It to Beaver, Stevens stepped away from acting for the maximum component. Unlike a number of his co-stars, he did now not pursue a long-term career in Hollywood, opting alternatively for a more personal lifestyles. He did but make a brief go back to TV inside the 1980s, whilst he reprised his function as Larry Mondello in the TV reunion movie Still the Beaver, 1983. Which later led to the sequel series, The New Leave It to Beaver. His reappearance within the function was a nostalgic deal for lovers of the unique collection, who had been overjoyed to peer the liked person another time. This go-back helped rekindle interest in Stevens and his contributions to the original display. Despite stepping out of the limelight, Rusty Stevens remained a vital part of Leave It to Beaver's legacy. His lessons had an enormous impact on the industry and still remain in the public consciousness. The show has seen that emerge as a cultural touchstone, often appeared as one of the most iconic and enduring circle of relatives sitcoms in TV records. Stevens' portrayal of Larry Mondello, with his boyish attraction and mischievous electricity, remains fondly remembered by means of enthusiasts of the show, in particular folks that grew up watching it for the duration of its unique run, or via reruns in the next many years. Rusty Stevens' contribution to television may appear modest in comparison to a number of his contemporaries, but his role as Larry Mondello stays an important part of American popular culture. His character represented the timeless nature of formative years, friendships, the type which might be packed with laughter, adventures, and a piece of harmless hassle. Larry Mondello, as portrayed through Stevens, turned into the essential sidekick, someone who was constantly up for a bit of fun, even if it now and again brought about headaches. Stevens' ability to encompass this individual so naturally at the sort of younger age is a testament to his skills and air of secrecy. Rusty Stevens, first class, known for his function as Larry Mondello on the enduring television collection Leave It to Beaver, left an enduring influence on visitors as Beaver Cleaver's mischievous yet adorable first-class pal. However, Stevens' abrupt departure from the show after most effective 3 seasons has been a topic of curiosity for fanatics for many years. Over time, Stevens has shed light of the reasons in the back of his go-out, offering an extraordinary glimpse into the complexities of being an infant actor in Hollywood during the late 50s and early 1960s. At the peak of Leave It to Beaver's reputation, Rusty Stevens' portrayal of Larry Mondello made him a fan favorite. The person, continually visible with an apple in hand and a penchant for purchasing Beaver into trouble, became imperative to many memorable storylines. However, no matter his achievement on screen, Stevens' existence backstage changed him to a ways from the glamorous photograph frequently associated with television stars. For Stevens, the pressures of balancing school, performing, and the steady needs of being a baby performer in an enterprise that offered little inside the way of assist have become overwhelming. One of the primary motives Stevens has given for leaving Leave It to Beaver became the impact his position had on his family lifestyles, and the strain of steady travel among their domestic in New Jersey and the set in California became an excessive amount of devoir to undergo. Unlike many different child stars who had mother and father absolutely immersed in the amusement global, Stevens' family struggled to adapt to the realities of display enterprise. To prepare for the existing mass of livestock imagery he had, this disconnection created anxiety and monetary stress, ultimately leading to the hard choice for Stevens to go away the show. Additionally, Rusty Stevens has cited that his mom played a tremendous function in his departure from Levitt to Beaver. Concerned about her son's training and well-being, she felt that the chaotic schedule of filming changed into interfering together with his capability to preserve a everyday youth. She feared that persevering with inside the industry might have lengthy time period terrible outcomes on his improvement and destiny potentialities. Stevens' mom became protective of him, and her primary cognizance was making sure that he had a strong and healthy upbringing. Something that was turning into more and more tough as he juggled the needs of reputation and growing up. Stevens himself has admitted in interviews that, as a young boy, he didn't absolutely understand the gravity of the choice to depart the show at the time. While he enjoyed acting and being part of the Leave It to Beaver own family, he didn't have the identical power or ambition to pursue a lifelong career in Hollywood. For Stevens, acting became just something he befell to fall into, and as soon as the pressures became too awesome, he changed into geared up to leave it behind. The transition, far from appearing, allowed him to go back to a extraordinary early life, unfastened from the highlight and the hectic filming timetable. Furthermore, the environment on set, even though usually fine, changed into no longer without its demanding situations for Stevens. Child actors have been frequently problem to lengthy working hours, strict studio guidelines, and confined opportunities for social interaction out of doors of their co-stars. While Leave It to Beaver maintained a healthy picture on screen, the fact of filming a weekly television display worried a rigorous agenda that took a toll on young performers like Stevens. The showrunners, even though supportive, had been primarily centered on the achievement of the series, leaving baby actors and their families to manipulate their non-public struggles largely on their very own. Despite leaving the show early, Rusty Stevens has expressed fond memories of his time on Leave It to Beaver. He maintained desirable relationships along with his co-stars, in particular Jerry Mathers, who played Beaver Cleaver. The camaraderie they shared on-screen extended off-screen, where the cast shaped a tight-knit group offering a few semblance of stability for the young actors. In the years following his departure, Stevens selected to step far away from the limelight altogether, identifying now not to pursue further appearing possibilities, plenty to the surprise of lovers and enterprise insiders. In later years, Stevens would make occasional appearances at fan conventions and reunions, in which he reflected on his reports as Larry Mondello. Though his time on Leave It to Beaver became fairly brief, it left an indelible mark on television records, and Stevens' portrayal of Larry remains cherished by means of audiences. His selection to stroll far from the display at this sort of younger age, driven with the aid of private and familial motives, offers a poignant reminder of the demanding situations confronted through child actors, especially during the early days of television while help structures had been confined and the pressures of reputation could be overwhelming. Ultimately, Rusty Stevens' departure from Leave It to Beaver highlights the personal sacrifices regularly required of infant actors and their households if you want to maintain a semblance of normalcy. His tale serves as a testament to the significance of prioritizing one's well-being over reputation, even when confronted with the attraction of Hollywood fulfillment nowadays. Stevens remains a symbol of the complicated truth of child stardom, wherein the price of reputation may be excessive, but the rewards of choosing own family and personal health are immeasurable.